The big question: would you buy to live, buy to let, or does Leeds need more investment before you even think about it? Right, let's have a butchers and see what I want. This is an auction property. Always check the legal pack as well as auction fees. You may have additional costs and other property problems. Today we are viewing a leasehold first floor apartment, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, of which one is an ensuite. Couldn't find any information in the legal pack about parking, so you would need to double check with your solicitors. There is no outside space with this property, and from Leeds train station it's roughly an 8-minute walk and about 15 minutes walk to the coach station. There is no storage in this property and the EPC rating is D. The property is 85 square meters. This property is located within the historical boundary of a tithe district, within a parish which continues to have a potential chancel repair liability based on historical parish boundary data and the relevant inland revenue indices held by the National Archives. There are 20 apartments in this development. This property is being sold by a REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. The REIT is insolvent and we have been here before. It's the same company that is selling this property. So property investors, it's worth checking them out to see what other properties there are available to purchase, and there could be a deal for multiple purchases. The company is in liquidation and the video is linked at the end to the other property. The completion date is 20 working days from the date of the auction, so pattern your monies from early. The company paid in October 2017 £204,000, probably a cash purchase, which is why it doesn't show on the portals. If the property was bought for the guide, for example, that's like 140 grand loss. Ouch, that's a lot of money. Buyer premium, what the buyer needs to pay the seller: £600 for searches, £450 plus VAT for engrossment, and 2.75% towards the legal fees. So using the guide of 90 grand, 2.75%, for example, is £2,475. The post-completion charges are £336, of which include admin fees. Post-completion charges, basically the block managers acknowledging you as the new owner. For leasehold properties, first thing, our priority question: is the property EWS1 compliant? No. The auction details state the developer is committed to covering the costs. But what does that even mean? Firstly, who is the developer? Where is the money coming from? Is it coming from one or multiple sources? What if the developer can't get any or all of the funds? What does that mean? Do you know what I mean? This is very high risk in my opinion, as there are no solid answers. Now, there is a fire risk appraisal of external walls dated January 2023 and a fire risk appraisal of external walls report dated 17th of May 2023. So what's the situation now? How has it progressed? What's been going on in the last couple of years? Lots of questions to be asked. The lease was issued on the 10th of November 2000 for 124 years, so there is 99 years left unexpired. The ground rent is £150 per year and the service charge is, wait for it, £4,839.29 for the year. Bearing in mind, this development has a lift, so the service charges are going to be more expensive. The ground rent and service charge on a monthly basis is £415.77.
Oh my gosh!
Ooh, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. The service charge from the 1st of January to the 31st of March is £1,209.82, and that has been paid. Unlike the other property where the service charge arrears are over £4,000. The reserve contribution is the most expensive cost on the service charge invoice, and £9,000 in water charges, £12,000 for electric. Can the government do something about the utility bills in the UK, please? Because currently it is absolutely outrageous. The insurance premium is included in the service charge. Within the next 2 years, are there any Section 20 works proposed to the property? Section 20 of the Landlord and Tenant Act 1985? Yes, there is. Fire alarm system upgrade, communal door remedials, internal decorations, external decorations, carpet replacement. We need to find out how much this is going to cost. The service charge is already £415 per month. So we need to get an idea, some rough idea, of what the leaseholders are expected to pay. The block managers are local. First-time buyers, what are you thinking? There is no electric in this property, and it doesn't even switch on at the fuse board, so that will be the first thing that you need to address. Overall, the apartment is nice. It just needs touching up in a few places. Channel first-time buyers, we're gonna have to keep it moving on this one. It's not EWS1 compliant, and the £415 monthly service charge, plus that will increase when the scheduled works are completed. It's just unaffordable for us. But to add fuel to the fire, the council tax band on this property is E. Financial year 2025 to 2026, band E is £2,641.10. Monthly, that is £220.09. Do you know what, Lowit? This property is just too expensive. It's way too much money. Using the guide, 90 grand, as an example and stressing at 6%, the mortgage is £450. So with the mortgage at £450 plus the service charge at £415.77 plus the council tax at £220.09, that equals to £1,085.86. Can't afford it. Absolutely can't afford it. Or you can rent out the second room. Would you rent out the second room if it meant you can actually afford this property? Landlords, we are up north. Do you think you'll get a 10% gross yield on this property? Would you take the risk and purchase the property? Looking at rentals, what are 2-bed, 2 baths in the local area on the market for? Looking at short-term rentals in the local area, how much can we charge per night for 6 guests? Looking at rooms in the local area, what are they on the market for? Let's have a look to see if the property's sold.
Oh my.
Ouch. That is £114,000 loss. Wow. But there is a twist. The ink is not even dry and the property has gone straight back into another auction. The buyer premium is £600 for searches and £450 plus VAT for engrossment. The completion is 4 weeks from the date of the auction, and the post-completion charges would need to be paid again. Let's do the Jim Jam test. Is a local shop close enough to pop in our Jim Jams on a Sunday morning? Looking at sales, what are 2-bed, 2 baths in the local area on the market for? Let's have a look at the sales history of the property and if the property sold. And we have our shop.